Hi, it's Rabbi Andy from Greensboro, North Carolina's Temple Emmanuel. Today's day 22 of Elul, and here's today's Pearl of Elul. We're talking about examples of teshuvah in our own day and age. And I thought today I'd talk personally. I'd talk about myself, and I actually want to use terminology. The terminology is Baal Tshuva. Now, you may have heard this term before. Usually, we talk about someone who's Baal Tshuva. That's somebody who grew up, without much of a Jewish background, and then moves into the world of orthodoxy, sometimes even ultra-orthodoxy. And so you hear this word out of the more traditionalist sectors of the Jewish community. But I want to say that any of us who have adopted Jewish practice throughout our lifetime. Maybe we grew up in a family where it was, some things were there, but not a lot of things. I think, for example, about Sarah Hurwitz, who wrote the book Here All Along. And, you may have read that book. And, came out a couple of years ago. And she talks about how, yeah, she was Jewish, but it's not like she knew a lot and did a lot. And went ahead and made a significant change in her life, studying about Judaism, clearly authoring a very, very important book. If you've read that book and you want to reflect on it in the comments, I'd love to hear what you have to say. I actually think it's one of the most important books that's been written in English for those of us in the North American Jewish community in the 21st century. Be that as it may, like I said, I want to talk personally, and I don't mean to disparage the family I grew up in, but while we knew we were Jewish, there wasn't a lot that we did, and I went through a significant change in my own life. I would say that this happened gradually, maybe when I was in high school, but it was really rocketed, really took on a different form when I went to Israel for the first time in the summer of 1984. I was on the High School in Israel program, and my teacher, some people in this community know, is our former senior rabbi, our current Rabbi Emeritus, Rabbi Fred Gutman, and he really lit a spark in my life. And that 2 months of intensive study about Judaism and about the Jewish people's experience in the land of Israel, the modern state of Israel, was quite powerful in my life. And while I didn't come back from that experience saying I want to be a rabbi, I did come back and started college shortly thereafter, knowing that continuing my path of Jewish learning as well as Jewish involvement would be really important. And I would consider myself to be Baal Tshuva, not becoming Orthodox or ultra-Orthodox, but nonetheless adopting Judaism as a central path in my life. Look, going on to become a rabbi, that's not for everyone. But maybe you yourself are thinking about significant life changes that you're considering, right? Teshuvah isn't only about saying we're sorry or forgiveness. It's about the changes that we make. We might find ourselves going in one direction and then incrementally shift, or we might make radical changes in our life, adopting different patterns that take years, maybe even decades to develop. Maybe you want to reflect a little bit about that in the comment section, or even talk with me at some point. But that's what I wanted to enter in. Look, I'm not talking about teshuvah heroes. I don't consider myself to be that. But Baal Tshuva, yes, making that type of change and setting off on a different path, which ultimately resulted in a very fulfilling and meaningful pursuit in my life. So if you want to reflect on your own experience, I'd love to hear it. And I just hope that you have a really phenomenal day today. And we're looking forward, in this last week lead up to the high holidays. I just hope that this particular segment of our time together over the course of the past week really helps us as we develop towards the beginning of the new year, 5786. We'll see you real soon. Take care.